Hey, this is VK's channel. You wanna see something different here, right? So... Hello everyone, and welcome to the first review of the channel. Big One sent me this Elitist S controller, and I can't wait to check it out. The box already looks solid, and really well made too. Play Big One Big, huh? I think they need to change these words. It's in Chinese, but there's also text in English. And here are the features: Gyrocon Plus, customizable back buttons, and next speed wireless. They paid a lot of attention even to the sticker here. So in the box you get a, let's see, it's a 12 months warranty, which is already better than Nintendo's Pro Controller. The manual is in English and Chinese too. And you get the dongle, seems like a regular dongle from mouses or other controllers. And you get a pretty long micro USB cable. Seems to be of a good quality too. And the star of the show, the Elitist S. Looks very nice. I like the design, and the material feels soft to the touch. Let's move over to my desk where I can see it better. It feels a lot like the Pro Controller, very good. The build quality is awesome too. The back buttons feels really clicky, and you can remove this back plate if you don't want them. And the back buttons are protected here by a plastic cover, which is very good because it will stop dust from getting inside. And there's a reset button here. You also have the function button here, and the home and plus buttons, also minus and capture. And here's a hole for the micro USB cable and the sync button. Here you have the status lights. And my favorite part on this controller is the back buttons are really accessible. They are really good to click. And if you decide to remove the plate, it also has a place for resting the fingers. Another good point is that the buttons feels very good. However, the ZL and ZR buttons feels a little bit short. If you have big fingers, you might have to adjust your grip so you can press them better. I wish they were a little bit longer so I could really press them with my whole finger. And the D-pad, it falls in the middle, but it doesn't press all the keys, so you're good for platformers. And the analog stick, it has a plastic piece here that makes the circular motion really smooth. It's really good to the touch, really good to make circular motions. Here I put my microphone, and you can see when I make circular motions, you'll see the noise that it makes on the DualShock 4. here's the difference with the Elitist S. It's really silent and really smooth, very pleasant to the touch. Another cool feature of this controller is that it has anti-sweating and anti-fingerprint coating. It seems that the sweat gets absorbed or evaporated. I don't know what's happening here, but it is really cool. Another great feature of the Elitist S is that it can wake up your switch. Not all controllers can do this, but the Elitist S can. As you can see, it woke up fine. And overall, the build quality of this controller is very good, very solid. The analog sticks are a little bit taller than the DualShock, for example. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it adds a little bit of precision, especially to shooters. Because if you have a taller analog stick, you'll have more precision in your inputs. I think I'd like to point here is that the home and plus button are reversed. If you pick up a Joy-Con, you see that the motion that you do to press the minus buttons, if you do it on the Elitist S, you end up taking screenshots. This is a little bit annoying, you can get used to, but that's kinda counterintuitive. And the buttons also feel a little bit hard to press. They're not as smooth as the DualShock, for example. See this slide motion here? You can tell by the noise that they're a little bit harder to press. However, I think that they will get softer after some time. About the dongle, Big One lost a huge opportunity here. That will be allowing the dongle to fit in the hole for the micro USB cable. The included cable fits perfectly though. Some people were complaining about the lack of a USB Type-C cable, but you can get a cheap adapter and fit it right in the hole. This is a lightning adapter, by the way, but I'm just showing that this works. Moving over to gameplay, here I'm gonna test the lag and the speed of the controller. I can do fast inputs with no problems. Let's see if I can do the same with the Elitist S. As you can see, I felt no difference and didn't miss any inputs. Moving over to Ninjala, my ninja here Vanilla will help me show the turbo function. Each time I press the ZL button, she blows a bubble gun. So to activate it, you hold the function button and tap ZL. Now it's on turbo. And to speed up, you do this. Once again to the max speed. And another time to return to normal. Double tap to remove the turbo function. Thanks, Vanilla. The motion controls works flawlessly in the game. And here's how you register a macro function. You hold the function button and the desired back button. The function button will start breathing. Then you can input your desired macro and click the desired back button again. When you press it again, you'll do the macro. Keep in mind that the macro only registers button presses, so you'll need to move the analog stick. And you can do some pretty devastating combos with that. To program a key instead of a macro, do the same combination, and instead of doing the macro, just tap the desired key and then press the desired back button. Now the back button will act as the desired key. You can see that I'm holding the button and it's acting like the ZL button. You can also adjust the rumble function to your desired intensity. The controller works fine on Android devices too. And if you press and hold the function button, you'll activate gyro controls. As expected, the controller also works on Windows and it's detected as an Xbox controller, which is okay because most games on PC uses the Xbox controller inputs. And they even added the Xbox layout engraved in the controller, so you can remember while playing on PC. And now let's check the insides. So okay, after removing the 6 Phillips head screws, you must use a plastic tool and insert it here and here. This will release the tabs and you will be able to get inside. So as you can see too here, the motherboard is very well built. The battery has a nice compartment. It has a foam to protect it, and the plastic buttons, the back buttons are here, the switches, the rumble motors. Everything seems really well built, but we'll need a little bit more of patience and messing with this to get inside. I don't know if I'll be able to go further, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so you have to pull open the battery, remove a Phillips head screw here and here, and after that you will be able to pull the whole motherboard. And be careful with the rumble motors, but everything is really well built. I'm impressed. Let's try to remove this. Doesn't seem that the analog sticks are removable. Yeah, some buttons are falling here. I'll just show some detail photos, but you can already see that the construction is very good. The analog stick is glued inside. You can't open it for some reason. And they opted for stronger connections instead of those fragile flat cables. This is a good point for big one. You can see the buttons, and this is why the buttons are harder to press. You can see that they opted for a stronger rubber membrane here, which is good. The only bad point is because these rubber membranes will be hard to replace. And the battery is an 850 milliamps battery. Pretty good, and easily replaceable too. And you can see here that the back buttons are made with a strong plastic, so they won't break that easily. And they are also covered, as I shown before. And here's something odd that I found while testing the controller. You can see that the analog pointer seems to snap to the X and Y axis, And this is very bad, as this takes away precision from the player. So I reached out for a big one, and unlike some company we know, they listened to the issue and provided a firmware update right away. And after updating the controller, the pointer did not snap anymore, and everything worked as expected. And let's move on to the final thoughts. This controller is pretty solid, well built, and it works on many different platforms with tons of options. The firmware is upgradable, which means they can add even more features in the future. And at the price of $39.99, this is a big deal. So, did you like my review? If you would like to see any other products to get reviewed in this channel, please leave it in the comments. And you can also send me your products to review too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends, as it will help me bring lots of cool content to this channel in the future. See you next time!